Welcome to the Fighting Couch Potatoes. I'm joined by Liquid Gold Steve.
What's up, y'all?
I'm joined by Kadawfi Crush.
Welcome to the Roughnecks.
Rorschach's Roughnecks.
Rico's Roughnecks.
Rat Jacks.
Rat Jacks.
Yeah,
Rat Jacks.
That's
Hey
why
man, redo that.
Nah, hell no.
Let's not
That's
fuck that
staying.
whole way up. Rorschach.
So,
nigga, Rorschach's diary. Look, wrong
Sorry.
show.
That's the reason I asked. I was like, because when I heard it, and I was like, God damn, I don't remember.
No, we're not doing that
This
again.
nigga said, hello, y'all.
We're
Hello, y'all.
y'all.
It's like you knew what he wanted. You sure you don't want to redo that?
fuck no.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's some
redo.
Liquid Gold approved.
As you've heard, we're talking about Starship Troopers today. Starship Troopers is technically it's not technically. It's a sci-fi military movie. It's cheesy as fuck, but it came out in 1997. It was based on a book, Starship Troopers, that was published back in
It's like the 60s or some shit.
I'm a big fan of the movie, even though it is cheesy as fuck. Because, like, my whole thought throughout the entire movie was like, damn, this is a really good scene. And then you remember what they were doing.
What do you mean?
Like,
What do you mean by that?
like every time somebody died, it's like, spoiler alert for a movie that came out fucking
23 years ago.
Yeah.
25
Like when
years ago.
when
I'm old. Shit. I was like in middle school when that shit came out.
when Xander died. It was like, oh no! Anyway.
Xander got the best blowjob before he died.
He didn't get
Best
he got
blowjob of his
sucked
life.
off.
He got sucked off.
You saw his face, remember that?
That shit took brains. That shit wasn't
Damn.
giving brains. I love Starship Troopers. Didn't I put y'all onto it?
You did.
Finally put
Yeah.
y'all like
Well, what was
You were
funny,
like,
I'm gonna sound stupid for this. I always thought Starship Troopers was what's that puppet movie with Matt Damon in it? America, whatever the fuck is it called?
no, you need to tell me. What the fuck you talking about?
motherfucking
A puppet movie with Matt Damon. Team America.
Team America. I always thought it
Is
was
Matt
like
Damon
one of
in that?
those. Yeah.
I thought it was Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
I thought it was Matt Damon.
Because it's Trey Parker, the guys who made South Park.
I don't remember that. I haven't seen it. I always thought it was Starship Troopers. But
Fair
no,
enough.
actually seeing it for the the second time now, it's a really good movie. Like it's got a good story. Like it's following Johnny Rico, who is a teenager at the start, living in Buenos Aires, South America. But everybody's white for some reason, which bothers the fuck out of me.
It ain't that. I think it's so far into the future.
Well,
because okay, they have interstellar travel. I feel like as soon as, and this is in the future in my mind.
Yeah.
If there's interstellar travel, the world's always just gonna get together.
So essentially, what you're saying is white people took over the world,
White people took over the world.
and then they went and
Well,
invaded
hold on.
space.
Well, hold on. Hold on.
White people
hold on.
started vacationing in South America.
It's really nice here. We should
stay here.
just buy this.
Well, I feel honestly watching the movie. This is just my take. I feel like the Federation are Nazis, but it's just how
It's
they're
Nazi
dressed.
Futurama.
To be honest, they just look like dressed up like Nazi generals and shit. So it's like something's wrong here.
I mean, they were
Something is wrong here.
very totalitarian in the movie. That's kind of like the ideal that I think the book was kind of going for too, was like trying to show like a very strict because like they mentioned a lot in the whole film, like in the very beginning, like what it means to become a citizen, and like you can't just pay for it and buy it or whatever, but like you also had to have like a license to have babies and shit. There was like a lot that's like you had to have the right to do, but like you had to earn your right, and one of those ways of earning your right was either money or
It was a privilege.
oh yeah, it's right, because it's not a right. It's because rights can be taken away.
That's what I was thinking, Crush, is because like how is Johnny Rico around and the parents didn't, unless like they talk about it in the second and third one because
We didn't watch the second and fucking third one.
I never. Well, I have, but we pretend like me and my
Shun!
friends. Me and my
him.
me and my friends. Okay. Anyway, so I haven't watched it. Anyway, what I mean is like when they're talking about it just throughout the movie, because I've seen it like 1,000 million quadrillion times, it seems like, when they're just talking about just these simple little one-off conversations, like what you have the right to do, where you can go, how things work. Like, my favorite character in the movie, I don't give a fuck what you say, is Diz Flores. That's my girl.
Just really.
She real talk 1 million.
Best girl out of whole movie.
Hey, best girl in anime, fucking live action movies, motherfucker. All
Not
that.
no motherfucking anime.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, she infected anime. She's best girl so bad that when she died in fucking one of them Saw movies, it pissed me off and I quit watching Saw.
You should have quit watching Saw to begin with.
I think it was like Saw 4, but anyway.
Ugh.
But when I start, like, first thought come to my mind seeing Starship Troopers is what the fuck. Like, absolutely what the fuck. Because, like, okay, we had to get into the meat and potatoes a little bit.
Do you want to know more?
Do you want to know more? And, like, what, just imagine, like, we're in a futuristic timeline. They're fighting bugs. Pretty much.
Known as the arachnids.
And they're like, the humans are getting fucked up. Like, actually fucked up. And that's the funny thing. The whole time watching this movie, I'm looking at the humans like,
they just jumped on a planet and was like, let's kill them!
We might be getting a little too far ahead of ourselves.
That was the beginning of the movie.
That was no. Well, no, it is. Well, yes, it is the beginning, but it's also the middle. But it's also the end. So that's the funny thing about this movie is the way it starts is like it shows you the way their world televises like war. Right. You know, they show everything. They show execution, 6 o'clock, watch it now, you know, shit like that.
Right.
All channels all the time. And the way the movie starts is like you're in the middle of the battle that happens halfway through the movie. And people are just getting fucked. The reporter gets fucking chopped in half almost immediately. Most of the crew dies. Johnny looks like he dies at the start of it. But then, like, it goes back into what the fuck happened beforehand. I've always enjoyed movies like that where it's like, oh shit, character's dead. Oh, no, he ain't. He'll be alright in 3 days. You know, they're gonna stitch his leg back together.
Take him to the bonfire.
Take him to the bonfire.
Like, something that I've always liked about the movie is that, like, when you see all the all the stuff being televised, all the war, all the you know, soldiers are amazing and we gotta kill the bugs and
outposts
all the propaganda. That's the word I'm looking for. All the propaganda that you find in the movie, it's kind of like based on, because again, it was written like somewhere like in the 60s, I think. And like at that time, soldiers from like World War II and shit had become movie stars. And that was like kind of their claim to fame. Like where I went to high school at, there was a mall called the MacArthur Mall. The MacArthur Mall Center. It's a fucking big ass 3-story fucking mall. Massive thing. But anyway, just showing that like the person who wrote the movie, I forget his name. I think it's like Paul Verhoeven, but that might be the actor in the movie. I don't fucking remember. But anyway, God damn it, what was I saying? I lost my whole head.
Propaganda. The
propaganda, thank you so very much. Like, it was kind of based on like what he was experiencing in life. Like, we were starting to see we want to see what war looks like kind of thing. And then, you know, when Vietnam came around, we were televising war. And
the book was published in 59, by the way. So that'd be around the Korean War?
Yeah.
I think so.
Korean War was in the 50s.
I'm not gonna
when
go
is
down.
MASH based?
I'm not gonna go down on because I don't remember.
No, that was Korea. The fuck you mean?
Vietnam was in the 70s.
That's what I'm saying, but I thought
MASH was Korea.
Oh, but MASH was on TV in the 70s, wasn't it? It wasn't on TV in the 50s.
No,
because it had color.
Yeah, and they were making dick jokes.
They had right. They were allowed to do stuff like that because the kids weren't watching it anyway.
All right, we're getting off.
Elvis took over everything.
We're talking about Starship Troopers.
But we are talking about Starship. No, because that's what we are talking about. I'm talking about how like the way they showed things in the movie was kind of based on like the mindset of the person who wrote it back then. Because like this is kind of what he envisioned as the future. And like, you know, being televised on something like the internet, watching quick short videos on the internet. Doesn't it sound kind of familiar? Watching a quick short right. And it's like, you don't really want to more, you just swipe up. And like, even when they showed that in Starship Troopers, the fucking videos kind of swipe to the side or some shit. But
we're heading towards Starship Troopers in our future timeline, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
my point.
We're either going, you know, Starship Troopers or we're going Cyberpunk.
We're going Starship Troopers.
I hope so, because Cyberpunk is like the game's cool, but like the way people live is awful.
Right, so bro. If they can't make our games good, I don't want technology inside of me. I'm gonna be glitching all day long.
I mean that's what cyber psychosis is.
So MattMatt, it asked a question from a Halo fan and game player.
We're gonna leave Starship Troopers and go over to Halo. Come on, what's up?
Did the guns remind you of Halo at all?
Nope.
Or was that more of a? It just felt like
that was more of almost like what Alien was. I'd like to think, because they made it easier to compact. Like, how many rounds were they dumping in these fucking things?
That's what I was thinking too.
Remember the Outpost? At the end of it, when Rico throws Diz a mag and goes, "Make it count," and it's like, yeah, kill fucking one of them, then you're out.
The mini nukes is really nice. Like, it shows you there's ways of making.
Oh yeah,
because you see it in Fallout.
Hey, listen. Why do we need to use knives if we can just push a button and nuke them anyway? The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand.
Yeah, they were so far ahead, they'd fuck each other up and just call medics. So, like, okay. So we were kind of getting into, like, who the fuck Johnny Rico was and, like, what this movie's even really about. Like, we kind of said it's, like, about war against bugs in the future. We know it's a totalitarian government. I kind of even took us on a long tangent about that. But, like, when it comes to, like, what the fuck this movie is, what are we getting into when we cut this on?
It's a dramatic war movie that's really cheesy. Like, okay.
I wouldn't say dramatic.
I would not say dramatic at all.
A little bit. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's dramatic, but then you remember what the fuck they're doing. Wait, hold on. No, don't hold on me. I'm not done yet. What you get when you watch this movie is a teenage boy from South America just trying to survive.
Johnny Rico!
Who joined the military for love. Like a fucking moron. And then immediately was broken up with. Killed one of his own squad mates by having them take off their helmet during a training exercise.
Hey, Breckenridge was big and dumb just like me, so it's okay.
And then they go to war. And then he dies. Let's fill in the blanks. All right. So like I said earlier, Johnny Rico's from South America, which he's white for some reason. But like, it makes sense what you were saying is like later on with interracial couples and everything, eventually it will be like that. Like, humans will just be one color eventually.
It ain't that.
Yeah,
it ain't that.
They'll all be Puerto Rican.
I was more saying that when you have interstellar travel and you find out there's more stuff out there than just you,
right?
You're gonna come as a collective in the world together.
Oh yeah, so you should. You fucking.
I think that's what's gonna happen anyway. But you're gonna back the person that looks like you. Not the bug that lives.
Hey, you've got two arms? Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's how the way it fucking should be, anyway.
Intergalactic racism. The South will rise again.
I didn't feel about that because it actually kind of was because they took the bugs and straight up they're dumb.
What fucked me up the most, like thinking about it from the bugs' perspective, was like their home planet had an asteroid belt that was sending meteors into us. They're not controlling that.
No.
It just happens. So the only way... Wait. I'm not done yet.
But you're wrong. They are controlling that? You're already wrong. Like, all right. So these bugs were not just big dumb fucking bugs. They were already colonizing planets. They were already colonizing other planets. And once we showed up popping shit, they was like, oh, word? Oh, word.
That's right, because they sending spores out.
Now, even though they didn't have buildings and fucking spaceships, these motherfuckers were able to launch an asteroid. They were able to find us after we showed up on their planet popping shit, hightailing it out of there, somehow following our trail across fucking space and launching an asteroid at us that wiped out like a chunk of South America. They did that shit on purpose.
But what I was getting at earlier with like y'all was talking about the intergalactic racism, I thought it was y'all was talking about, do you want to see more? Like remember the commercial, the propaganda where the kids are stomping out bugs and all the parents are in the background? Yeah! Get him, Billy!
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing it. Squish.
All right, so I actually put it down and said they were men in blacking him. Not like Jay. But okay, so like the first commercial to me was like the soldiers passing the kid's gun.
Yeah, you want to hold it, they're all grabbing it, fucking
like
tuck it.
7-year-old kids just passing guns out. Just, hey, take this.
Look here, man. You have to promote joining the military as best you... Look, what the fuck do you think G.I. Joe was?
No one's got the battle.
You go out there with laser guns and not kill your enemy for real? That's what that's what they made you think. And kids were all yeah, I'm going to be a fucking stormtrooper and a fucking
everybody wanted to be
Storm
Fumbles.
Shadow.
Meeting Mr. Ratchet. That's it, right?
It's
Michael Ironside.
Like Michael Ironside. I'm just going to say Michael Ironside.
Call him Sam Fisher already, goddammit.
Because he's the best fucking character of that whole movie because he's fucking Fisher.
All right. So, all right. When we catch up with Johnny Rico and friends in the beginning and all, after the initial introductory scene that shows you like how gruesome this shit can be, they kind of like put us in his classroom where he's flirting with Carmen, Diz, and he's got his homeboy, Carl.
He's flirting with Carmen, and Carmen can go burn in hell. But he should have been flirting with Diz.
I have an opinion on Carmen.
I bet you do. Hold it for a moment. So like we're in class, with this is kind of our main cast of people for the most part. I mean, we have Diz Flores, we have Johnny Rico, we have Carl, whatever his name is, who looks really nice in a Nazi outfit.
I think it was just Carl.
And we have
Neil Patrick Jr.
Carmen
Abinez. Right. So we have these four. These are kind of our main cast of people. But also in the classroom, we finally get to meet, as they've been pole jocking the whole time, Michael Ironside, Mr. Ratjack. And that sounds like his name is Ratjack, but apparently it's not spelled that way.
It's not Warshack.
But it sounds like Ratjack. So I'll be calling him Mr. Ratjack. They'll be calling him Sam Fisher and Michael Ironside. Please try to keep up with us. We get to meet him, and he's like a dude who is was in the military. He's like the ROTC instructor, essentially. And he's missing an arm, and he's trying to teach them like what it means to be a citizen. This is pretty much their last fucking week of school. We have a big football game coming up soon, and then we have the big dance. Because there's always a big dance after a football game. I don't know what fucking high school these kids go to.
That too.
I don't know what school these kids go to in the movies.
It's in the future, man. So,
bro, it's been like that since fucking 16 Candles. Stop playing.
In the future, football is all year long.
All year.
So what is the moral difference between a citizen and a civilian?
What is the moral difference?
Yeah, we're going to save that for the end.
No, man. I mean, what you got?
Because a citizen accepts the responsibility for the safety of the body politico,
mm-hmm.
as they even say politic, defending with his or her own body. A citizen does not. That's pretty much all it is.
That was pretty much what they said. That's the textbook definition of it, right? Of what they mean in that world.
And you were kind of right. They're kind of making the citizen, the soldier, more like. It's a better life, but I can't they're romancing it.
Romanticizing.
Right. Cause it's like the society treats a citizen like they're a real person. And unless you're really rich as a civilian, you're not going to get shit.
Right.
That's the one thing Johnny Rico has that a lot of people don't have.
Is money.
Is Johnny Rico's a rich kid.
Right.
He's not a rich kid. Like, as he's all stuck up and shit, but he has a rich family.
Right, super rich
family. He was, before he joined the military, he was on his way to Harvard.
Right.
Like, he decided upon himself to join the military because he wanted to be, because of Carmen.
Well, I mean, Harvard, the way his parents act in the movie, like, it seems like they paid for him to go to Harvard, and it was no big deal. You know what I mean? And I mean, in real life, we're starting to catch celebrities doing shit like that, too. We don't really know what his dad does. But we know that motherfucker's super well off because he was about to send Johnny to the outer rings. And I originally thought that was the outer rings of Saturn, but I think it's the outer rings of the Milky Way. Going to Zegama Beach, whatever fucking planet that is.
Apparently it's not even there anymore.
It ain't there anymore.
Right. So yesterday, when we were doing our research and all, I went to one of my nefarious websites that I won't mention here and started to watch Starship Troopers again, so I didn't have to pay for it. I clicked on what looked like the Starship Troopers we watched. The one from 97 had the pictures of everybody and blah, blah, blah. So I clicked on it and it started up an anime. an anime that took place in 1988. And so I watched 6 episodes of an anime yesterday. And apparently it's a little bit closer to the original book of the Starship Troopers.
Johnny Rico and everything.
So while we're here kind of in the beginning, I kind of want to share a little bit of information I gathered, and I'll kind of tack this shit in as we go along, because some of it is closer to the book, whereas some of it's Hollywood. And again, we love Johnny Rico. But I tell you what, if we had seen this shit in 88, we would not have liked Johnny Rico. So where I kind of want to go with it is, my first note is Johnny Rico's a bitch.
Well, goddamn.
In the 88 anime, Johnny Rico was essentially a spoiled ass rich kid. He's not particularly good at his sports. He isn't dating Carmen. He's actually kind of a fucking creep who just kind of likes Carmen and wants to go profess his love, but like she don't even notice his bitch ass. He joins the military still because of Carmen, and her name is not Carmen, it's Carmencita.
Do they look Hispanic?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, because the thing about anime is that people assume that a lot of anime characters are white, but what they don't realize, if an anime wants you to know their character is white, they will show it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
They'll certainly. Well, Johnny Rico still maintained the blonde hair, blue eyes.
But was he wearing an American flag somewhere?
Where his father looked Hispanic. He looked like he was Honduran or some shit.
What about the mother?
She's like a white girl.
That's where the white came
like
from.
a white girl. So besides him, like, you know, joining the Space Navy is what she joined. He joined the Mobile Infantry.
Real men are.
Well, she joined the fleet.
She joined the Space Navy, the Fleet Academy, right? And so Carl is still intact in this show.
Still psychic.
Still, no. Actually, that was something I forgot to mention. Even in the Hollywood version, of the show, you know, people are psychics. They're starting to understand psychics and like that show, understand that it's real. It's in like the very beginning stages of dealing with psychics on a mass level. So Carl is no longer psychic. We don't get, would you like to know more? Things like that aren't prevalent. You actually get to see a lot of peace, in the anime, a lot of peace of how the city looks and, you know, what the cars and stuff look like. There's a lot of little stupid things you don't get to see from the Hollywood movie that you got to see in the anime, just especially in the beginning. And did I mention that Diz doesn't exist?
No. Yeah, I'm never watching that.
And neither does Lieutenant Ratjack.
I don't watch it.
Neither one of them exists.
I don't watch it.
And
I don't watch this anime no more. He took Best Girl away from me.
I mean,
denied. But anyway, we're continuing.
But neither one of them exist. We made them up for the Hollywood production. That's like the way we show propaganda. The Hollywood production showed was like fucking military. Yeah, America, we're everywhere. Fucking, we were all about that, and it was kind of interesting to show like how the way the anime portrayed it. Whereas like they didn't really portray a lot of military life. They didn't really show like dead in your face that, oh, we are under a totalitarian government. It just didn't really seem that way. It seemed kind of like your normal average atmosphere. Until you joined the military. Then things kind of changed, which things changed for Johnny Rico in the live action too, don't they?
Very quickly.
When he finally joins the military?
Gets sent to boot camp.
So how do his parents even react?
You're not doing that. You're going to Harvard.
You're going to get cut out of the whole family, everything. And
you're cut off!
Well, yeah. That's another thing that, like, this cheesy ass shit where the dad goes, young man, if you don't change your mind in the next 15 seconds, you're cut off. And it's like, wow, well, the military is going to give me 3 hots in a cot.
Oh, hold on.
I'm cool either way.
Johnny Rico said, I hope they give me 3 hots in a cot. Because he didn't know.
Oh, yeah, he just left with the clothes on his back.
Yeah, because...
we're going to reel this in a little bit, and we're going to talk about boot camp.
Hold on. So, the first part of the movie, like 5% of the movie was a high school movie, which... was stupid. I don't know why they had. Well, it ain't stupid. It shows like the background of everybody.
It shows the school game. Carmen being a fucking bitch and going off with Xander, even though she's like, "Hey, yo, bitch, I'm with you. You fucking bitch."
Carmen didn't do nothing wrong in high school. I'm gonna give her that. She did nothing wrong.
Same with high school, they did.
Hey, different story. Different story.
Right, so, but the real movie started when they Alright, but the real movie started when boot camp happened. When Mr. Krabs Drill Sergeant, career Drill Sergeant
Zim. That's not Mr. Krabs. I mean, mind you, Mr. Krabs will throw the hands with you. Them big meaty claws. But Zim will break your arm and then call a medic. Just for you to be carried off. Sir, my arm, I think it's broken.
I want to say one thing.
So,
Diz can roll up on that.
You raised your hand second, right? What's the point of raising the hand?
I'm in the middle of talking to both of y'all.
And I was waiting, and then he started talking. I had to stop him. Now, please proceed.
So it shows Rico in the lineup with everyone. They're all in what the hell? They're all in formation, right? And it's the first day he's introducing himself, and like he looks at all of them, or Zim looks at the whole platoon, squad, whatever they were, saying, "Now which one of you thinks they can take me?" And some corn-fed person in the back was like, I think I can, sir.
Nah, man, you gotta say it right, bruh. You gotta say it right if you gonna say it, because he didn't say, I think maybe I do, sir.
Walked up front.
Pretty much a liquid gold Steve.
Yeah, and then got his arm broken.
I mean, not just broken.
Like, bone poking out. Like, underneath the shirt. They didn't show the bone. Like, you saw the shirt get wet, but you didn't see it, the bone out of the shirt. But then Diz rolls up, and she tries taking Zim on, and she gets her fucking ass beat too. It's shown earlier on that these people are a little bit more physically strong than your average human, right? Like with Rico doing backflips at the fucking football game over and over and over again, or Diz being able to take on a dude half her fucking size,
and sorry,
2 times her size.
She bulldozed his ass,
and like
too.
had a chance, but Zim was trained, and fuck you. It was really cool to see, because like that's the moment you found out that we're dealing with Nazis. Like the uniforms, the way where they're at. Mind you, they still have rights. Zim says at the very start of the scene, that they can walk right the fuck out if they want to. They sign their paper, and we will send you home.
Fuck out of here.
So saying that it's like when you first see it, it's like, oh yeah, they mentioned lashes on the back. It is totalitarian, but they also still have their rights. We're not monsters here.
This is true. Absolutely true.
The arachnids are.
So the bugs. Do your part.
So I want to jump into like where the anime picks up with that. So like in the little football game, you remember how in the live action Johnny Rico made that final touchdown? He did that flip over them people. They did the little whistle noise, and he fucking made the touchdown. They won the game. He got the girl. Fucking fuck you, Xander. All that, right? So there was a dude out here flirting with Carmencita on the sideline, and Johnny Rico's just staring at her. He's like, "Oh, I'm walking today, and I like Carmencita. I ain't never said nothing to her." And they like, "Yo, get back in the fucking game, stupid. What are you doing?" He gets up there, and they have a play to do a flea flicker. You know what a flea flicker is, Steve?
Yeah.
Cool. Matt? You toss the ball backwards when you're about to get smashed.
Hold on.
Real simple.
That's not.
Look, I don't want to go too far into it.
You pass it. You hand it to the running back passes back to the quarterback. That's what
it's a fake. Basically,
fake run.
It's sort of kind of
fake.
Continue on.
Right.
Continue on.
I've been listening to sports podcasts. I'm with it.
I play with Legos. I know.
I said hell no, but
I understand. I knew football already. Fuck you. I'm an American. We're Americans. We like football and guns. Do you want to know more?
Would you like to know more? There's psychics in the world. Fuck that shit. Anyway, all right. So he's staring at baby girl while they're playing football or whatever, and so his opportunity comes to make the final touchdown. And he's like ahead of these guys. And somebody's like, "Yo, Rico, toss the shit back. Do the lateral. So he can throw the ball backwards." And he's like, "No, I can do it. I'm fucking awesome." And got his ass smashed. They knocked him unconscious. They fucking blitzkrieged his ass. Fuck Johnny Rico. So that's
Johnny Rico ain't freakishly athletic or anything.
No. Are you saying this anime is a shonen anime?
When we finish, you tell me. When we finish, you tell me. I did watch all six.
This is what the episode's going to be. It's like, we got, Hollywood Johnny Rico already beating the shit out of every bug he sees. That's not true.
Right.
That's not true at all.
Right. And it's like Johnny Rico was like a normal dude. And so like he was shitty at school. He was shitty at sports. And the only thing he really had for him was his pops was going to give him the company. Now his pops in South America had one of the top 5 biggest companies in the continent. I almost said country. We almost fucked that up.
Man.
In the continent. So he had one of the top 5 biggest countries. So he was balling out of super control. But Johnny just out of left field decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go with Carl and we're going to sign up for the fucking military. Just out of left field. Like, had nobody to talk to about it. It like never even really showed it, like really crossed his mind until he heard that Carmencita was going to the men. He's like, every time I think about the military, I see her. I'm going to follow her ass.
Dumbass.
So he goes up and Carl's like, you ain't going to tell your pops? He was like, shit. I forgot to tell my family. So he comes home and he's like, look, I turned in my application. I'm joining the military. His mom has a complete fucking breakdown. I mean, like, she stops talking. She ain't even sobbing. She's just like, I mean, she's like, it's ridiculous. And so his dad's like, come on, man. Go take him to the car. Let's take a ride. Takes him around the block. Dad lights a cigarette. He's like, damn, Dad, you smoke. Don't say shit to your mama. But what I'm going to tell you is, you want to join the military, that's your fuck up. But because of my big ass company, I've learned the military is starting to ask for more shipments of shit. There's about to be a war. How about you take a day or so to think about it? Johnny Rico, well, I could be a hero. We'll just go in there and go to war. Why not? They need me. And that's kind of his driving force, like, for a while. So he goes off to tell his moms that, like, yo, I decided I'm going to go ahead and join the military. She slaps the fire out his ass. I mean, the fire out that nigga. I mean, the fire out that dude. And she says, goodbye, Johnny. And that's the last thing he gets, because y'all know how the story goes.
Yep.
Y'all know how the story goes. It's slightly different here, but when we get there.
I mean, it worked out for him. He had to get away anyway.
When we get in there, I'll slide back in. But until then, so we get to boot camp. And this famous breaking the arm scene. This famous just breaking the arm. So we get a guy, goes up against the sergeant, Zim. And Zim's a black man. Bald-headed black man.
In the anime.
In the anime. No, in the live action. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, wait a minute. Wait.
You know what I'm talking about. So Zim's a black dude. And they show him just beating the shit out of one cadet. And he's like, come on. Who else wants some? So 2 dudes show up. And he's like, word. And he like mollywops one guy and catches the other guy's arm from behind. And he goes, all right, I got you. And then just dislocates it.
Zim.
Yep, I built that up like it was going to be nasty, but he just dislocated it.
Wait. So what you're saying is Zim's basically the same dude.
Pretty much. Still just as nasty. And then like instead of calling for the medic, he's like, now take your ass to the infirmary. Made him get up and go.
Mm-hmm. I didn't break your leg. You can walk.
Yeah, get your ass on. Don't be laying around stupid.
But so getting back to it, which it's cool that you're adding this in a little bit. It's kind of a little different perspective on it because this come out earlier than the movie.
It changes the game a little bit. Just a little, because it's interesting to catch the bits and parts we missed.
I'm not gonna, single out every single detail through boot camp. Rico makes some friends. He what was dude's name? It's fucking Gary Busey's son. Ace. Fucking Ace. Ace is cool, but Ace is a dick at first.
No them teeth anywhere, but
No, that's Gary Busey's son. And, he finally warms up to Carmen again because like Carmen kind of showed up on him all fucked up.
Yeah.
He was doing his own thing. And like while he was there for the wrong reasons, thank God she showed up, because like immediately after he gets there, he gets his Dear John.
First letter he gets from her.
Straight up. It's like, oh, by the way, I thank you for joining. But
I mean, they were using GameCube discs as letters. That's what it was.
And then Carmen goes, I hope you write me. It's like, fuck you, bitch.
and your boy Ace said, funny how they always want to be friends after they tear your heart out.
Oh, man. Yeah, I felt that shit too. Because, see, what I mean is like, yeah, the movie's cheesy, but like, it's got its moments when you forget that we're fighting bugs and we're in space here. Like,
I like to remember that the whole time.
It's fun, but like it kind of gets you sometimes. It's like, yeah, you're right. You know, Gary Busey.
Right.
Steve.
All right. So I'm gonna add on to what you were just saying, Matt. Carmen's a hoe, and she's the reason Earth blew up. All right, not Earth, but fucking.
Why the Dear John letter? If you're gonna call her a hoe, let's talk about why she gave him the Dear John letter.
Because of Xander. Xander and Carmen can go fuck themselves. I wanted to bring this up. So we really didn't know what the difference was on. Well, we kind of did, but we didn't know the specifics of what's the difference between a civilian and a citizen.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll get back to that later. Trust me. We'll get back to that later.
All right, then Carmen's still a hoe, and I have nothing to say. I don't care about fucking...
Look, man, say what you was trying to say. Fuck him.
Go ahead.
I don't care about the Dear John letter because I knew that shit was going to happen anyway. I knew as soon as I saw Carmen leave and she said goodbye to Johnny, that bitch was never jumping on his dick ever again.
Ever again. I don't even think she did. Did she? Did she? Did he?
Her father wasn't home.
You damn right.
So
Rico's a one hitter quitter up here.
One and done.
No, he ain't one and done. Fucking Carmen said you're one and done. That's exactly what she said.
And it did say he's one and done.
And then Xander showed up and was like, "Hey baby, how you doing?" And fucking Carmen fucking immediately never saw Johnny's face in her fucking
he was slick because my man pulled some strings to get her on his team. He was a slick willy fella.
Okay, hold on. Carmen, I'll give it to her anywhere else than being like trying to talk to men because she's a hoe. She is a great pilot, a natural. Like she could fly anything. I'll give her that.
She could fly a brick.
She could fly a fucking brick into a window.
She could fly a brick and miss the window. She could. I mean, Carmen's
because she meant to.
Carmen's nice.
You saw them slick ass moves she was doing with that big ass ship, and like it's still Carmen's a hoe, and she fucking knows it, and she just didn't want to hurt Johnny, and she hurt Johnny in the long run.
What were you saying about the citizenship?
All right, so remember when they were in the showers in boot camp?
Yep.
And the girl, I can't remember her name. It's the redhead. There's
this?
No, the redhead, the other redhead.
Oh,
victim number one.
Yeah, no, she was like number 3, I think. But go ahead. Was she 2?
Because Shinji was the first one. Then it was her.
Shijumi.
I thought it was Shinji, but
it was Shijumi. Yeah.
He was like, ah!
Yeah. We're gonna get to that too.
and Kitten, the news reporter, asked everybody what they were doing in the military, and it was I think the black girl that shot Breckenridge in the live action, or the live action one with the live ammo.
Right. The live exercise.
The live action. I want to say live action just in case.
Which comes on.
Right.
I got you.
All right. So continuing on, she wanted to be in politics, so I'm guessing being a citizen gives you a little extra chance or a better chance to be in politics.
Yeah, because we're not just going to let random civilians off the street.
The other redhead that got fucking murdered wanted to have children, and if you're not rich, because that kind of showed you it's like citizen, rich, everyone else. Like that's how it feels about this.
Wow. So you meant to say citizen at the top.
Citizen.
Rich in the middle, and then everyone else at the bottom.
I love how Steve.
Yeah, people
just
can't see us.
Citizen. You can't see it, but like he put his hands up in like a stacking order. It's like
1, 2,
citizen.
All right, how about this? I'll say it 1, 2, 3.
Rich.
One is citizen. 2 is rich people, and 3 is civilians.
By how much? Like that much?
I feel like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I feel like it's a wide margin. I feel like it's a wide margin, but the difference, because like in the shower scene, they were trying to explain, they were giving you like a little tidbit of like what's the difference between a civilian and a citizen.
Right.
And Johnny came in as for love, for like a dumbass.
Like a dumbass.
Diz never said it that she was going in for love too. Like she could have been a pro football player,
right? Because she was supposed to go play for Rio, Tokyo or Rio, I think is what it was.
Rio was a guarantee, but if Tokyo could start her, she wanted to be in Tokyo.
Right? She was going to play because it wasn't football. It wasn't a fun fact. This showed up before Arena Ball did. I think this movie might have been a little bit of the inspiration for Arena Ball, to be honest with you.
It was the XFL.
No. The XFL wasn't around yet either. But
2001, jackass. Continuing on, but it kind of, in that small scene, even though it was a shower scene and they were just joking around and shit, they at least explained, they gave you more context than like a whole scene. Well, that was a whole scene, but like, they didn't have to like get serious with you. It was just explaining that there's subtle differences in this government or this kind of leadership that would make you want to become a citizen more than just being a citizen.
Right.
They were talking about the different privileges that a civilian status gives you, and it's kind of fucked up, but it's the way their world works.
And I want to know what they do to make you not have children. Like, is it like you get sterile, or because you can reverse?
They just don't. They don't 6 feet. No, they don't.
You can reverse being clipped and having your tubes tied. So
I mean, they might take a sample from you. You know, I mean, they're far enough in the future where like they have super space travel. You know, hyperactive, fucking amazing space.
There is one piece of technology I want to talk about later, but we'll have to wait until someone dies.
Or is it? I'm gonna be fucked up real quick. Or is it that they're not allowed to have babies and they figure it out?
They're not allowed to have babies in China either. So
they about to take them.
All right,
that might be the case.
That was just the thing.
The best case scenario is they take them.
So the next thing that really happens in the movie is the live ammunition and Johnny being publicly reprimanded. He gets 10 lashes for doing. He has administrative punishment because of Breckenridge taking his helmet off, him not having the clearance to even fix said helmet.
Well, Breckenridge didn't just take it. Johnny told Breckenridge to take his helmet off, and Johnny had been promoted to squad leader during training, and you know they said give him a squad, and you know see because he had done really good in capture the flag essentially. I know that kind of makes their training sound like silly shit, but like, I mean, you know, they were doing real squad, you know.
They were playing laser tag.
High level laser tag. Them lasers look like they were shocking the shit out of people. But you know, they gave Johnny a squad, and he did an exercise with live rounds. And during the exercise, he demanded one of his soldiers take his helmet off because the guy was having a hard time seeing. Johnny wanted to get the high score. He made a poor decision as a leader and got someone killed. Because when Breckenridge took his helmet off, the little black girl, she got shot by one of the laser things because she was too busy talking shit about Breckenridge, and she shot Breckenridge in the face. And it was like kind of surprising. You know, your first time seeing this shit, like, oh, fuck, I didn't know he was gonna die. Like, he dead. And Johnny, the dude's brains are all over the sand, and Johnny hollers, "Medic!" You know?
And then Hank from Breaking Bad fucking shows up as the general, or he's like the lieutenant above.
Motherfucker got big shoulders and little body.
he's like above Zim. He's the leader of the base, pretty much.
Continue. Yeah,
he's like the captain or something.
Whatever. We don't know military about that.
But after what was it? After boot camp, they finally get into the shit.
Wait. That you're missing something here.
Mm-hmm.
So right before boot camp ends, because like they kind of hurry you along, they show you, you know, how they trained them and everything, everyone doing their shit. But like towards the end, so Johnny gets reprimanded, right? He gets his 10 lashings in front of everybody, and like one really cool part about the lashings was Sergeant Zim was you know, taking Rico up to the
lashing post.
The post. And gave him something to bite down on. And he goes, chew on this. It helps. I know. And it's like, so they're not just doing it to, like, everyone was a grunt one time, you know, and everyone's gotten their lashings. It's not like they're playing favorites, just doing it to people who deserve it. Like, shit, some of the commanders probably have. And, you know, some of the, like, not just, civilians. You know, they're not just doing that to civilians. They do it to everybody.
Right.
And it's just the way the world works.
Right.
After he receives his 10 lashings, he wants to quit. Because he got somebody killed. He got embarrassed. He wants to go home. And his parents call him right on his way out. And, you know, they're like, hey, where's your uniform? You know, after all the times they were like, fuck that. You're not joining the military. And he was like, I'm going home. And then, like, he loses transmission. and he's like, oh, shitty fucking cell service or whatever, and starts to head out. He's about to go down to Loser Lane, whatever it was called.
Washout Lane.
It's Loser Lane. And everyone starts freaking the fuck out. So we kind of missed it earlier, but we were talking about the whole thing with the bugs sending asteroids towards the planet, or meteors, or whatever. A spatial fucking body towards planet Earth, and it hit his hometown. He had signed his papers. He was on his way out, and he went to the base commander and asked him to reconsider. Well, I can't really do that. You signed the paper. That's illegal. You know? And Zim's in there too, just like, is this your signature? Yes, sir. Well, it doesn't look like it to me. And he rips up the paper. You know, it was really cool because it's like, he don't have a home to go back to. Like, what the fuck is he going to do now? He broke the law technically, or not technically, he broke the law 15 minutes into the movie. And then just keeps on going.
So we're just going to jump over the fact, this is why I say Carmen is the reason Buenos Aires was destroyed. I have an actual thing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right.
I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's wrong already. I think he's right.
Carmen's a bitch. Right. She got the planet blown.
I have some serious, like, even straight in the movie. She had third shift on the spaceship going into, I'm guessing, bug space. The asteroid came out because she made a new course for the to go to Jupiter, I think it was. It was either Jupiter or something else. And she made a new course to be faster. So she didn't see that big ass asteroid in the field, and she had to do evasive maneuvers, and she broke the comms. So they couldn't actually, they couldn't call Earth and warn them and say, hey, there's an asteroid coming, destroy it before it hits Earth.
Okay. What did you want Carmen to do? Crash the ship into it?
But she didn't have to change the
course.
What
did you?
She didn't have to change course.
All right, scratch
They
that.
wouldn't have seen it.
Wait. I see you blaming Carmen, and I kind of blame her too. But I also kind of see MattMatt, and let me explain. All right, this is what this was for, fucker.
You should have drove it into the asteroid.
No, I still got this one. So Carmen found a route that was more optimal. The computer agreed that a route was more optimal. My thought process is, how did she find a route that was more optimal that thousands of these fucking soldiers had not found yet? Thousands of these other pilots had not found yet. I think she found a route that was more optimal because there was a new celestial body in this space, which she could draw gravity from to pull herself to her next destination. It's how we move around in space. The new celestial body was, in fact, that asteroid that the bugs had fucking launched. Now, Carmen ran over there, and it wasn't her fault the planet got fucking splattered, but it wasn't the whole planet. But it was half her fault that she couldn't tell the planet that they were about to get fucking splattered because they lost communications controls. So, like, I kind of see you, because it is kind of her fucking fault for out here being nosy-rosy touching the goddamn commands.
And she's a trainee. Like, why the fuck are you touching this shit?
And that's the point. Like, she could have got Xander's license revoked.
I honestly believe her that, like, okay, because, like, they don't show all of boot camp. So it could have been at least 3 months that her training could have been done. She could have been, like, a freshly new pilot.
Well, that's what Xander was talking to her about, was like they were getting ready to like put her on the flight team.
Yeah.
They were getting ready to make her part of that ship permanently. It's like her training was just about over. And that's probably what got her the fucking rank up she got also, was finding that asteroid. Like, there was nothing she could have done. If she'd have gone to Jupiter the right way, or wherever the fuck, where the fuck she was going, if she'd gone there the right way, she would have missed that asteroid, and it would have smashed Earth. Or she could have gone an awesome way, and we discovered Carmen had a really good talent for finding new paths and getting around. Unfortunately, the thing that was her new path, that let her get that new path, was the same thing that was coming to destroy the planet. It was kind of a circumstantial situation.
It didn't destroy the planet.
Sorry.
Buenos Aires.
Well, it wasn't just Buenos Aires. But
it was South America.
It was a large portion of South America.
Like the bugs wrote on the asteroid.
Fuck you.
South America.
South America. Shot it right through it.
They knew exactly what they were doing. So, all right. This is kind of where things really start to diverge a lot in the anime. During the rest of boot camp, and even the part where Buenos Aires gets destroyed. because Buenos Aires does Johnny Rico and friends are still from Buenos Aires, and it does still.
That's part of the story, I'm sure.
It doesn't get destroyed, but it does take severe damage. We'll put it that way.
This is the parents die.
So, what happens is, I like how you just want to skip the story. Huh?
Does Uncle Ben die in Spider-Man?
Huh?
How many times has he died in Spider-Man?
Twice.
No.
A lot. Sony be hiring Uncle Ben actors. All right, get in.
Okay. So, in training, we get all the basic, human training. Motherfucking running, doing your long runs with the packs on, with no water, no food. Zim riding on a bicycle kind of thing. It's like, how come he didn't have to fucking run? It's like a fucking hovercraft or whatever, talking shit and they're passing out. And this is where Johnny starts to show he has some kind of heart. Where his fellow soldiers pass out, he picks them up and is like, come on, we gotta make this shit. We gotta make this count. We're here for a reason. Zim hasn't still taken any notice of him, but there is another soldier who's getting everybody's attention. His name is Kitten Smith. Kitten Smith, apparently his father was mobile infantry and is a legend in the mobile infantry. Kitten Smith, the news reporter from the live action, he's actually the badass. He's who the fuck you thought Johnny Rico was. He's that dude all day and tomorrow. He's leagues ahead of everybody at every aspect of training. He's just far beyond them all.
I'm sorry to say this, every anime usually has one of them people.
And it's gonna be Kitten Smith.
Kitten Smith is nothing.
Kitten the Pussycat Smith. Anyway, so with him being ahead of the game like that, Johnny never really felt the need to chase anybody. You know what I'm saying? He never felt like he had that competition like he had with Ace. There wasn't really that same rivalry going on. The knife scene, the famous, are we going to use can we just use a nuke? So we have that same conversation.
The way this is going, it sounds like Zim's about to just kill the cadet.
So we have this.
He cannot use a button if you throw a knife into his head.
So we have the same conversation where we're getting to see the cadets throw the knives at these not sheetrock
targets.
What are these things called? The wood on your floor.
Plywood.
These plywood targets. And he's throwing them at these plywood human-shaped targets, and everybody's kind of sticking them within the target. It was right in the wood, getting a good shot. And one guy just can't seem to he sucks real bad. And he's like, Sergeant, why would we be using knives in a gunfight? He's like, if all I got left is a knife, and my enemy has all these dangerous weapons, fuck am I going to do with a knife? He's like, nah, man. You're misunderstanding. Ain't no such thing as a dangerous weapon. It's the motherfucker with the weapon. He's like, yeah, but alright, well, if you got a nuke and they vaporize my ass, then what? And he looks at dude and he's like, do you want to be the one using a nuke? And now this is kind of tying back to, this is the Japanese anime. These people in the 80s, not too terribly long ago, were just finally recovering from some nukes. So they kind of added that in and the guy kind of shut the fuck up and the sergeant was like, Zim, he was like, yeah, that's what I thought. So he takes the knife and throws it through the target. Everybody else is kind of sticking it in. He throws that shit through the target. Mm-hmm. And he's like, that's why you would use a knife. So we deal with that little scene. And then things get even more different when we start getting past their physical training. Because now they're starting to understand that there's other ways of training in this world. Once you get far enough into the mobile infantry and they like you enough or you've done well enough, they put you inside mech suits.
Whoa, we're going way too far here now.
This is part of his training. I'm still within y'all's realm. They put them inside of mech suits, and these mech suits are controlled neurologically. So for you to walk, you have to really walk. You have to really feel it, but you have to have that connection. Now, the very scene that got Johnny Rico whipped in the live action movie is wildly different in the anime. We're looking at Johnny Rico's Buenos Aires is actually being attacked by our alien creature. We're finally getting to see them, by the way. Just like in Starship Troopers Hollywood, we were able to see the first battle with the alien creatures, and get to see what it was like. But there, they didn't show what the creatures looked like. They just showed these massive laser beams smashing mechs. So we move forward, into Buenos Aires being attacked. And it kind of just happens out of left field. What you kind of get to see is like there's like these bubbles on top of like spaceships, on top of like battle cruisers and stuff. And these bubbles are controlling the ship to make it attack the city. Apparently they killed over 1 million people plus in like an hour.
100,000 in 1 hour.
I mean, they smashed people ridiculously, and the number's still climbing. So, Johnny Rico and 2 of his squad mates, Kitten being one of them, and I think the other one was Greg. His last name is Greg. Greg, Kitten, and Johnny, they go out with fire extinguishers to try to clear out the airport. Now, at this particular
airport, Buenos Aires.
At Buenos Aires. Okay. At this particular airport, one of the battle cruisers that was taken over was dropping off all the Buenos Aires kids from training to have like a break before they started the next level of training. Well, Johnny got picked to go ahead and help fire extinguish and help save parts of the city. At this airport, his mother knew he was supposed to be coming. So his mother was there waiting, even though the last time she saw him was goodbye, Johnny, and slapped the fire out his punk ass. She was there waiting with a homegirl. So the aliens attack. Johnny Rico's mom's like, oh shit, snatches her homegirl up and is like, bitch, we gotta run. And they're hauling ass down this hallway. And baby girl's like, I can't run. I'm not in heels. My feet hurt. And so
bitch, run!
Rico's mama lets her hand go and was like, I bitch. And then the explosion happens. That kills them both. Rico is literally like I don't want to say half a building, but like a couple rooms away when his mother is killed. He hears her scream out, and the last thing she says is, Johnny! He hears her, he looks to the side, and he sees some dude laying in the floor. He runs out of fire extinguisher fluid, and Zim goes, hey, mission's over, bring your ass back. He's like, yeah, but there's a dude laying, what the fuck did I say? Johnny's like, alright, fuck it. Mind you, he also can't really walk in this mech suit yet. He's walking like a toddler. He's like, blah, 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 collapsing all over the place. He goes and picks this guy up and goes to save him and carries this guy out of the whole fire. He finally figures out actually how to walk while doing this. He like figures it out. He doesn't want to crush the guy. So he like kind of got his connection to the machine, figures it out, and then carries the guy out. This was the thing he did wrong during his live training mission. This is what he gets punished for.
For saving a civilian?
For saving a civilian. Because Zim beats the shit out of him afterwards. And is like, didn't I fucking tell you to bring your ass? He's like, well, I wasn't going to let the guy die. Are you a fucking fireman or are you a fucking soldier? He just stomps the shit out of him. And then, guess what his punishment is?
Laps.
He runs laps. So, all that for a lap running segment.
Oh my God.
But like that, further along, Johnny actually realizes what happened to his mother. He goes on another mission to have his training accelerated because of the attack. He gets informed of everything. They debrief him and was like, yeah, 1 million motherfuckers died in Buenos Aires. He's still not putting it together. He's still thinking about Carmen all the time. And then his dad sends him a letter. Instead of a Dear John letter from Carmen, he gets a Your Mama Died letter from his daddy. Now where are we at in the live
We're going to go back to the Hollywood movie.
Where are we at now in the live action?
So, after boot camp, we get them invading Kadawfi. They get dropped. Whatever. It's the same tomato.
It is not.
Tomato.
It is not.
Kadawfi. The bug planet. The planet of the bugs. They go straight to their home planet. Like fucking morons. And they're dropped in while they're trying to drop the people in. These lights are coming off the planet. And every captain is like, yeah, these are just beacons. They'll be fine. And then the shit hits ships and starts blowing them up. And it's like, wait a minute. That's not just light. Someone was definitely wrong. So everyone gets dropped down onto the planet. They try to sneak up on the bugs. They kill like one, and then a swarm of them come out. Like every fucking one of them comes out the woodwork. And two, what was his name? The first guy that got killed. Because he's running out there. He's, I'm going to get some and all this shit, and just gets fucked up. Like the fucking bugs are massacring everybody.
Simji, the redhead.
Yeah, the girl who wanted to have babies just gets dragged off. Dead. Fucking,
she was begging for help too.
Yeah. Fucking what's their buddy's name? One of the ones who got the tattoos with him.
That's Kitten.
That's Kitten?
Kitten, the reporter.
Kitten Smith.
Died. Kitten died.
Oh, no shit. Oh, well, anyway.
The only people left with that tattoo is Ace,
Diz,
Johnny Rico.
Ace, Diz, and Rico. They all make it off the planet. It looks like Johnny's killed, but he isn't. So after everything happens...
I wanted to say this. This is my thing about all this, like, information, like, Earth is doing about these bugs. Like, are they, like, taking half-ass fucking information and saying, I think that'll work? Because, okay, they were wrong about the lights. They were wrong about them having a brain they can colonize or anything. They're dumb bugs. They can't do shit. There was a line in the movie, it was like right after Buenos Aires got blown up. The bugs want to do a live and let live. That means leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Earth didn't want to do that. They wanted to be dumbasses, and the bugs did them in. I'm sorry. That's exactly the reason.
I mean, fucking around with an alien race that we can't exactly talk to, I have a feeling we'd go out something like that. I have a feeling we would go out and drop off all of our fucking soldiers on a planet and go, fuck them up, guys. Oh, shit, they ate us alive. But then, on top of that, they actually even addressed the idea of someone being stupid. Remember when the general, he made the plan and was like, we're going to go fucking go to Kadawfi, we're going to stick our dicks in their butts, and we're going to kill them. Kill them all. And the Sky Marshal, that's right. And then after that failed, next time you saw the Sky Marshal, he was disheveled, his hair was all fucked up, and he was getting fired and replaced by the black woman.
Resigned.
That motherfucker was getting fired. And you know he took like 1 million lashes in public. He probably took a lash for everybody he killed that day. Like he killed a lot of motherfuckers. He's probably still getting lashes somewhere today. Every morning. Here you go. Here's 10. But like they did address that like they made a dumbass mistake. And so now when she takes over, Sky Marshal, whatever the fuck from Africa, she had like a name like Mutumbu or some shit like that. When they talked about her taking over, she was like, we're going to use science. We're going to talk to our fucking R&D departments. We're going to like really pay some. And that's when we start getting propaganda commercials, not just of people stomping bugs, but of Carl telling you, hey, shoot for the nerve stem. You shoot them in the leg, they're 85% still effective. Pop them in the nerve stem and they're done for.
So that's why I also put this. This is when the Men in Black, when the kids were stomping out like Men in Black. It was literally Carl showing them how to kill the bugs. And then kids taking parts of,
smash them. They were stomping roaches.
That's, okay.
Them bugs ain't do shit to them.
Three things I saw, in that, after the Sky Marshal got replaced in the movie. There was 3 things that was actually really cool. Carl showing how to kill them effectively. It reminded me of Dead Space, which is hilarious. That fucking, it reminded me of Dead Space.
Because, shoot him in the legs in Dead Space, and then Steve will shoot him in the body.
In the stomach, right?
Steve will shoot him in the body.
I should take the Starship Trooper way and shoot him only in the head. Only in the head. All right. Second thing, I like how they brought mini nukes out. I'll bring that up again. And Johnny Rico didn't miss those arachnids. He blew up a hive, which was fucking awesome. He fucking
with what?
A mini nuke.
I thought you said you were going to bring up mini nukes later.
No, I said at the beginning I talked about mini nukes. I'm talking about now. He shot a mini nuke at in Kadawfi, and took out a fucking hive, which was awesome. And rejuvenation tanks. They
had them Saiyan tanks.
That kind of showed.
Yeah, they did have Saiyan tanks.
That kind of shows you how highly
advanced
they were in the, like, I really don't know exactly what century they were in. I don't know if it was like
23rd century.
They did say that.
It was the 23rd century. It was
the song that said 23rd century.
It was the 23rd century.
Continuing on, I thought Rejuve tanks was actually pretty cool to show that it was higher intelligence, more technology, and in the future. It was really cool. And that's right before they meet. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to fuck it up.
Let's continue on. Now, it looks like Johnny's kill. It shows Carmen going up to a whole list of lost mobile infantry, or lost fleet members, mobile infantry, and she looks up his name. He's been killed in action, right? It cuts to him and a rejuvenation tank, and Carmen and Ace show up.
Nope.
It was Ace was there.
Diz and Ace.
Oh, sorry. Fucking fridge. Diz and Ace show up, and they're like, Johnny! Slaps the paper against the tank.
Dead!
You're dead!
I thought that was fucking hilarious.
I mean, shit, you gotta be a little bit like, oh, fuck yeah, I guess so. Leading into that, after Johnny gets out of the rejuvenation tank, he's sent to a new squad. The new squad is the Roughnecks. Now, we don't know who the Roughnecks lieutenant is yet. We just know we've gotten new orders to show up here. We've heard this is the best. And Ace starts talking shit about the lieutenant. Ace then gets a punch in the mouth from the squad leader. Don't talk shit about the lieutenant. He saved my life. And then another person.
He saved my life.
He saved my life. He saved my life. Everybody's getting their life saved. Just like, come on. Anyway, it's introduced that it's Johnny's teacher, Rorschach, fucking Sam Fisher, Michael Ironside, shit. We're now a part of the Roughnecks. Ratchacks, Roughnecks. Anyway, now, in the Roughnecks, he only has one rule. Everybody fights, and nobody quits. If you break that rule, he will shoot you himself. And he means that. He doesn't just go off and shoot one of his people, not yet. That's later on. Hey, he meant it.
Not to the next mission.
Anyway, it's decided what they should do is start a front and go outside of the home planet of the bugs. Not straight into the fire, but like they feel the heat over here on one of the far off planets who's been taken over.
One of the outer colonies.
And Rico blows up a nest with one of the nukes and like levels the fucking place. And this is around the part where he fights the big armored one, right? Where he gets... Oh, wait. I'm missing somebody. I don't remember what his actual rank was, but the bug slayer. You ever seen a dead bug? That motherfucker right there, he was a walking bug slaying machine.
That motherfucker act like he was never going to run out of bullets.
Yeah.
Fracking.
Exactly.
Somebody hand me a clip.
Yeah, seriously.
Like if he had a bayonet bow, he was going.
His mindset the bugs was like if like the bugs must have like
only good bugs a dead bug.
His family must have like died from bugs. They must have ate his dog.
That motherfucker must have grew up with roaches or some shit.
Something.
Right,
he wanted them dead.
That was like specific.
He was part of somewhere where the mosquitoes were particularly bad. I don't know. That dude fucking hated him some bugs.
But later on, where was I at?
Rico shooting
Rico does a whole ass Monster Hunter move on one of them, jumps on the back of one of them, and this is like badass. Because, like, yes, the movie is cheesy, but he blows a hole into the ass end of one of them and then shoves a grenade in. And that shit just blows the whole motherfucking thing up.
I mean, it did too. Like, it was a fire-breathing beetle that was like the size of
lava
like sick
breathing. No.
You're right. Napalm breathing.
That was pretty much. It's like they were melted as soon as they fucking touched it. It was,
and that's actually how we lost our original squad leader of the Roughnecks.
She got her arm.
She got her arm burnt off, and we sent her down washout lane.
And then
I hope not.
And then Ratchak said to Rico, "I need a corporal. You're going to be that until I can find somebody better,
or you die."
It's a nice way to promote someone.
I like that. I really...
No paperwork involved. My word is as good as theirs.
Rico got 2 different rank ups in like, I don't know.
Motherfuckers kept
30
dying.
minutes. Yeah.
Motherfuckers kept dying.
Rico, you're not my sergeant.
Because then there was the guy who next died to the fucking Pokemon. The motherfucker got his head sliced off. The radio man.
Mm-hmm.
The radio man got one guy got his head sliced off, and another guy he was about to have babies.
You skipped.
They was making babies like a wasp would.
I'm sorry to say this.
That's what that motherfucker was doing.
You missed a good part.
What was the good part that I missed?
All right, so they defeat the big armored bug. and they party. Guess what? Rico and Diz finally.
No, yeah, we are skipping over that.
You literally skipped.
I thought that was the next fight. My fault.
No, because the next fight.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
It's where it all goes downhill from here.
So, all right. State party and everything, and finally, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Rico and Diz hook up, which is the greatest.
He got 10 minutes.
No, he had 20 minutes.
No, because Rat Jack showed up and said there's a debriefing going on. Get ready, be there in 10 minutes. And then he finds out Diz is in there, and he goes, make it 20. And Diz starts putting her pants back on. And Johnny's like, nah, we can still do it.
We got 20 minutes.
We got 10 minutes. Let's go.
What I wanted to say was, this is again explaining that the bugs weren't dumb. They took out the communications instantly. Mm-hmm. Instantly. They didn't pick a random soldier. It wasn't Ace. It wasn't fucking Soldier 37. It was communications.
They went for a commander of the communications outpost.
And then they went into the base, which was all fucked up, already took it over.
Well, before that, it's okay. Yeah, we're all over the place here. Hold on. Took it.
Are you late?
Second. When Ironside said that he'd shoot one of his squad mates, he meant that shit, because one of the guys, the communication guy,
the guy who was getting impregnated,
he was not getting impregnated.
Bro, that's what wasps do.
Matt, he was about to get impregnated.
I'm gonna watch that shit again.
Go watch Rick and Morty.
Continuing on, Rat Jack kills the guy who's about to apparently get impregnated, and looks at everybody and says, "What? I'd expect every one of you to do the same for me." And he meant that shit. Because later on, they go out to the command or the communications base and figure out that something's going on here. Like something's not right. They were victim to a ambush, mm-hmm. And the bugs start swarming in place. They find the general who's in charge of said command base or communications base, and he's ecstatic. He's like, "All of you were going to be fucking heroes. Thank God," shit like that. And Rat Jack was about to shoot his ass. Because he was out of his fucking mind.
Why was he out of his mind, though?
Because something was going on.
No. He fully explained why he was out of his mind, but nobody wanted to hear him. Like, they had found, when they got into this base and they saw they had been ambushed, they saw that the ambush came from underground. When it came from underground, there was one of the communications officers at his desk still with a big-ass hole in his head. And they're like, "Oh, what's this big-ass hole in his head?"
They sucked his brains out.
Well, they originally thought it was because something burst out of his head. Maybe there's a bug in his brain. And he was like, "Nah, check this out." And motherfucking Rat Jack was like, just stuck his fingers in a dude's head like, nah, he ain't got no brains no more, cuz something's wrong. Then they found the general or the commander, wherever the fuck he was, hiding in a locker. When they found him, he's all freaking the fuck out. He's like, "Oh, let me tell you what happened. They're fucking sucking people's brains out and then forcing us to give commands to have y'all come here. This was a setup. You motherfuckers have been set the fuck up." And Ironside, Fisher, Rat Jack, man, was like, "Oh, that's bullshit." Fucking this guy starts panicking. He's like, "We're all gonna fucking die. Oh shit, we're gonna die." And then that's when Rat Jack was gonna blow his ass away. But the hero of our story, Rico, was like, "Hey, no, man, you can handle that. That's not cool."
He was trying to be the, I'm guessing...
The level head?
Yeah, common ground.
Fuck that. Blast his ass.
So, yes, they come outside and they look outside and there's a fucking whole army swarming them with bugs. I wanted to add one thing before we start talking about like all the murdering they do to the bugs and everyone dying and shit. The turrets were made of plastic. If you watch that, you can see the bitches when they're fucking firing. The shit's just flailing in the air. The fucking
tinfoil turrets.
The armor is fucking just plastic. All right. So the real deal. This is where this is the saddest moment.
Bad movie making.
Cheesy ass movie.
This is the saddest moment for me in this whole movie.
Same.
Now, I don't know about MattMatt, but crushing liquid gold have a special. Oh God!
It's because we said so.
I'm just gonna say it. Diz fucking dies.
Wait.
I mean, she kind of like just does fucking die.
Wait, no,
like, she could.
Ratjack dies.
Oh yeah.
Right. All right. Ratjack dies.
He gets pulled underneath underneath the base just by his legs, and Rico pulls him out. Mind you, one part of me was like, man, just get him on the helicopter. He'll be all right.
He'll get some metal legs.
But Ratjack didn't want that. He's, Rico, you know what to do. And fucking Rico blows a fucking hole through his chest.
Now, see, that was the most fucked up part of it all. He knew that Ratjack wanted him to kill him, right? Why not shoot him in the head and be done with it? Why did he shot him in the gut. And so Ratjack, like, you could see it in his face. He was like, you know what to do, Rico. He trusted Rico for this one bullet to land clean and true, to be a killing blow. Rico shoots him in the tummy, and he just kind of looks down. Oh. And then Rico leaves him in the hole with the bug that was going to kill him. He's like, I got to finish experiencing this, I guess. Thanks, Rico. You piece of shit.
And then everyone starts back because this is we didn't talk about. We asked for evac. We asked for an evac.
We asked for a drop ship. Yeah.
Rico said, "I want your." They're like, "That'd be the craziest air pilot or pilot to ever do it." And then he was like, "You better get the craziest pilot to come down here." Or that was Ratjack that said that.
No, Rico said that. It was after Ratjack died, and it was before Diz got clapped. Like. So shit was going crazy.
So the evac shows up, and guess who it is? Carmen and Xander.
A crazy pilot, son.
Hey, I was happy she did.
Fuck her.
But Diz could have just ran away.
Yeah, why she stopped her around?
Because she had to throw that nice pass. She had to throw that nice pass in that arm.
It wasn't. See, Diz saw how cool Rico was for killing one of them big bugs. And one of them big bugs started coming up in the middle of the base. The base is about over. The drop shit shows up. And Diz is like, bitch, I can still play football too. And chucked, a nice spiral right in that thing's mouth. Blew it apart. And she was like, yep, I fucking did awesome. Cool guys don't look at explosions. And that caused mosquito teeth to go through her body multiple times. That's when the fucking giant mosquito monster killed her. Not the flying mosquito, but the walking,
one of the arachnids.
The arachnid monster. I look like mosquitoes to me.
But man, this shit is ran away, man. Like, why does she have to?
Because she had to be gangster for a second.
Right before she died.
That's right.
No,
when keeping it real goes wrong.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
She died in Johnny's arms. And she said, at least I had you before it happened.
That's true.
She had him.
Like,
that's the saddest part, because she was like, don't let go of me, and
covered in blood, and I'm like, I love you. I love you. And then Carmen, like, it's wild too, because like, as soon as he decided, you know what, I think I'm gonna dig this. This actually might not be so bad for me. And then she dies, and then immediately behind him, there's Carmen. And he's just like, oh, well, fuck this. And
no, he didn't. I feel like he actually kind of
put some respect on her name with her funeral.
The Reju tank. He started digging on this. Yeah, I really feel like after the Reju tank,
it finally showed up there.
And then I feel like he actually, with Carmen, he was like, all right, she's not going to give me nothing. We're just friends. That's fine. He's all right with that. I feel like that was what it was. And there was one saying that Rico said when he got to the front and was asking to blow up the damn, it wasn't Kadawfi, I think it was called Planet P.
Yeah, that was Planet P.
He was declined, and he said, mobile infantry gets to do the dying, fleet gets to do the flying. Mm-hmm. I thought that really hit home. He was like, mobile infantry is pretty much the grunts and everything.
It's like he finally,
understood.
Was in place. Like he finally understood.
That's a very cool thing about this movie is like we said at the start, you started with this is weeks later after he's gotten out of high school, but he's matured very quickly. It's weeks later.
I don't think it's months.
Yeah, it's like months.
Basic training takes
months.
At least 3 months.
But it's not even a full year yet, and like he's already running his own platoon.
Right, and then also the transition it takes for him to go from
the Roughnecks. Hold on, I'm getting to that.
Before he gets to Ratjack's Roughnecks, there's still like a transition there. His healing process. It's probably been like close to a year. It hasn't quite been a year yet, still, but a decent amount of time has passed.
So after everything, they get off planet. it's they do a funeral for Diz.
And
Ratjack, but like it was for Diz. Yeah. So Rico brings up what Ratjack said to him at the start of the movie, what it takes to be a citizen, right? And Johnny didn't understand it, but he did then. And what he said was, a citizen has the courage to make the safety of the human race their personal responsibility. Kind of putting it in more of a big picture than just like, oh, I need to become a citizen, or I need to become a soldier so I can get by in life. And it's like, no, you need to become a soldier because you're out there to protect your own kind. That's basically the transition that we saw through the whole movie.
Right.
You know, he says his goodbyes and everything. And that's when Carl shows back up. And Carl looks fucked up. Like, he looks like he hasn't slept in a while. And he just looks pale. And, you know, Rico's saying, why the hell did you send us into that if you knew? And he was like, you fucking try telling those orders to people, you know? And it was like, it became very real for them very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we figure out that they're not blowing up Planet P because they want to go after the brain bug, our final mission of the movie.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to bring this up. And when I first watched this is the second time I watched it. The first time I felt like he had like a bug in his brain because I thought the general had one too. But it was just because it was kind of like symbolizing how overworked he was, how MattMatt was saying it. I feel like that's more of the thing. Them getting their brain sucked out makes more sense. I felt like it was more of a brain bug, but he's just overworked and he's one of the commanders. He's got to send, like he said, thousands of soldiers to their death.
Right.
So it's not going to be an easy job on him.
Right.
And
Rico took that like a G though. He was like, didn't you hear? Mobile infantry is good at that shit. Let's go to the next one. And I mean, that was kind of a cool moment with Rico and Carl and Carmen. You finally got to see the three of them back together, minus this.
And Carl did say, we got to go back to Planet P to get the
bug. We gotta get the brain bug. We gotta get it. And
this brings us into our final chapter. All right. So where we go from here is
they get dropped back on planet.
They get dropped back on planet, and how did the ship crash? What the fuck was it?
It was the blue light.
The random and light. Mm-hmm. That's what they thought it was. Random and light. This is not random, nor is it light.
It takes out Carmen and Xander's ship that they're on, and they make it to an escape pod to get back down onto the planet where Johnny and boys are dropped.
Her captain gets squished.
She gets a Dead Space death scene.
She catches the old Indiana Jones death scene.
So we get back down on that planet, Planet P. And Xander and Carmen are taken hostage. You know, they fight back against the bugs for a second, but then they're taken hostage.
Because they crash landed pretty much a hot.
Right. Which is when we're introduced to the brain bug. Or the smart bug, the brain bug. I call it the brain bug because he'd be sucking brains out. Anyway, it was a big slug-looking thing that after Carmen and Xander tried to fight off all the bugs, they were captured and figured out why they were keeping them alive. Xander got his brain sucked out. And
best blowjob.
It's
his eyes did roll back.
Yeah, they did. His whole face did. I want one of those.
His whole soul was getting choked. His whole soul was getting choked.
Your face roll back.
But that scene right there was like, oh no, Xander. Anyway, and then Carmen cuts the whatever the fuck it's in a spike, the sucky tube off the end of the brain bug. Handed her a knife
and gave her a knife.
Gave his only way of maybe surviving to Carmen. So like, props to you, Xander, but like you was still a fuckboy. Now, while this is all going on, the Roughnecks are trying to find the brain bug. They're scoping the planet, right? They're sweeping the whole thing, and they come to a fork in the road. And at this point, Rico thinks Carmen's dead. He hears about the ship crashing, whatever. Carmen's dead. And he just gets a feeling, while his other squad mates are going one way, he should go the other way. Now, everyone's telling him, listen, if you do that, that's illegal. Like, we can't all just stop and go where you say. We're under higher command right now. So he was like, fine, I'll do it. I need 2 volunteers. And the Bug Slayer goes, and Ace.
His 2 best guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the rep.
And then they find Carmen down there about to get attacked by everything, or killed by everything, because the fucking brain bug's like, what the fuck? Cut my fucking thing off. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Like, all that shit.
Thing off.
It did.
Johnny walks in with the armed nuke. Like a fucking G, mind you, holding that shit in his hand, just like, you know what the fuck this is?
You get up off my bitch, son.
Yeah, back up. So he gets Carmen out of there, and the brain bug tries scurrying away, whatever. Well, it does. It gets away, and then all of the rest of the hive swarm them. And they're trying to take everything out while they're running away. And my man, the Bug Slayer, he gets slashed in the stomach. His guts are hanging out. You know, there's one of the cheesy parts again, you know? He's all on the ground. He's still firing these fucking things. And he's like, sir, give me the nuke.
You trying to be a hero?
Just trying to kill some bugs.
That he did.
Mm-hmm. He's got the highest kill count in the whole movie.
I think he does.
And allows Carmen and Johnny and Ace to all get away, and he goes out like a fucking G.
Ain't no fucking way they ran away from a nuke. Ain't
Did
no
you see?
way.
Hey, listen, he's a football
Ain't no way.
Well, as you know, they're not really shooting nuclear weapons. They're just shooting extremely devastating explosions. I don't know why they call them nukes, to be honest with you.
Because they look like mushroom clouds when they blow up.
They do kind of look like, I mean, they're shaped like mushroom clouds before they blow up.
You saw what he did to that hot when he threw that nuke in
they
there.
had plenty of time to run away in Hollywood.
Well, Bug Slayer's just fucking everything up.
Look here, bro. It is a scientific fact that you can outrun a T-Rex in high heels. They outran a motherfucking nuke. Sorry, I'm Batman.
Right. So, and who captured?
Wait! Don't jump the horse. Jump the shark. Jump the horse. Whatever the fuck. Shut the fuck up.
Don't jump the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow. No.
Take me to Pleasure Town.
What the fuck? Okay, to wrap this up, wrap our movie up. They get up to the surface and they found out that they accomplished their mission. And they run over to see who did it. They're heave-hoeing, pulling the fucking bug out. And they find out that it's afraid. And who else would have captured the bug but Private Zim himself?
Private?
Yeah, it's Private Zim.
The only way he could fight is if he left the military and joined right back up.
If he busted himself down to Private, he didn't have to leave the military.
He just had to restart.
Yeah, you just made that shit up. But
he was like level 70, and he just went back to level 1.
He was a veteran of the game.
What's up? He prestiged. That's what he did. So
I still stand by the fact if this was a movie about Zim and Zim had been there in the first place, it would have been a lot quicker movie.
If it was Zim's story, it'd have been real fast. It'd have been, should I do it or not? Yeah, honey, you should do it. I'm gonna fuck up some bugs. It'd have been real fast. So remember how I told you guys the anime really diverged a lot? Mm-hmm. Most of the series at this point was about him training in the mobile suits, the mechanized suits. Mm-hmm. We actually get to the point where he does join a company and gets to be involved in the battles. He joins Company K, Willie's Wildcats. Wow.
No, I'm not. I won't watch this anime no more.
But he joins Willie's Wildcats, and we actually finally get to see what the alien creatures are. And they're not arachnids. They're not bugs. They're essentially a mass of other alien technology, biological specimens and everything just amassed together. They break off and send out pods, spores, and
they reproduce asexually.
And no, they don't reproduce. They just snatch shit.
Oh.
Yeah, and they have their own battle suits, their own mechanized suits, which they look like giant squid monsters. They actually look rather stupid, but until they start shooting off their Kamehameha level beams.
And then they're scary.
And yeah, I mean, fucking ridiculous.
They're scary.
I mean, they're out here shooting out fucking Cyclops optic blast. They're doing that shit. This is what they're fighting against. These things are destroying mechs immediately, disintegrating warships, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that really kind of stands out about the end of the movie, or the end of the little quick series, was, remember how Johnny was a loser and didn't have Carmen?
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, he writes Carmen a letter, and she does not respond. The next time he sees Carmen is when he is going off into a naval base, and he's riding through one of the ships. It's one of her ships, of course. And later, she sees him that he's finally grown up. It's actually been like 3 years. She sees him. He's grown up. He has sort of kind of command, kind of a squad leader. He's more mature, and she's kind of like, hey, Johnny ain't looking so bad these days. And towards the end of the movie or series, he does in fact get Carmen. After he earned Carmen, I suppose, and wasn't just cucking behind her the whole time.
Carmen didn't deserve Johnny.
Anyway. Now, Carmencita and Johnny were a good couple.
So, hold on. Before you say that, we're going to wrap this up here. So towards it,
you gotta say anything if you're
no, I'm going to give y'all final thoughts. Give me a second. So, we come back to the same scene we've been seeing throughout the whole movie. Would you like to know more? And now, all the propaganda is Carmen, Carl, Johnny, Ace. Exactly. Be like Ace, one of the regular grunts here, shit like that.
And one of the fucking roughnecks.
Mm-hmm.
One of Rico's roughnecks.
Whoa! So it basically shows that, like, time isn't going to change. This is just the world that they are in. It's going to continue on. One day, Carmen will be killed by something, and someone else is going to take over. The fucking war machine just keeps on rolling. So that's basically Starship Troopers in a nutshell.
Yeah, which I find out later, Johnny kind of goes through a whole lot.
Oh, I know.
Like being kicked out of the military, brought back in, kicked out again, and like, all right, fuck it, dude, you're a superhero, bring your ass. All kind of weird shit that kid goes through.
So, final thoughts on the movie?
No, my final thoughts, I was talking about there's one person that after watching the second time, I kind of give a little more respect on is I respect Xander a little bit more second time watching it because it's like, he didn't do anything bad. Really. Oh, okay. I'm going to explain that, Matt. All right.
He should have drove the ship into the asteroid.
Fuck you guys. No. Carmen was being a hoe in high school. She was talking to him.
Carmen was being a hoe in life.
Hold on. He helped Carmen out to become a pilot. He saved her with the knife that could have saved himself. But he was like a G and gave it to her and said, and didn't say anything, but pretty much said, hey, this is your last chance. Either you survive or die. I'm giving you the sacrifice. So I'll give respect on Xander's name that it's like, hey man, you might have been a prick, but you're not fucking Sasuke or Chiha or fucking Griffith or
no, nobody's Griffith. We don't talk about Griffith.
Carmen can get lumped into them bitches too.
Anyway,
but I feel like, hey man, I rented this movie. I might even watch it tonight. That's how great this movie is. I feel like I haven't watched any other series or part of this series, but I feel like the first movie is fucking. I don't even feel like it's cheesy that much. It might be just a little bit, but it's not like B-rated cheesy. I feel like this is a great movie. Anybody can watch it. Well, be a little bit older. 14 years old, probably be about the range you can be.
There is ass and titties.
Yeah, there is ass and titties.
We didn't tell you all that, but there is ass and titties.
But 14-year-olds probably be about that.
Man, we watch some ass and titties. For my particular final thoughts, again, I've seen this movie a quadrillion billion times, but watching it from a different perspective, watching it from a different time frame, watching the same story unfold with all the extra details we were kind of supposed to get, like, we didn't have enough time to really get into the war aspect of the show via watching the 6-episode anime. There really wasn't enough time to get into the war and like what the combat against the aliens was really like. But you did get a lot of the, like I said, the other background stuff, the mechs that we were supposed to get from the Giddy Up. Kind of how society was supposed to look while being totalitarian, but the idea was for you to be blinded to the totalitarianism in the anime versus as it was in the live action. Again, I love this live action movie. Like, this goes right below Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze, specifically that one. It goes right below that. I want
to review one of those movies.
As far as my movie count goes, my favorite movies go. I mean, really, this is a really fun one.
Top 10 or top 15?
Top 5. Top 5 for me. I could watch Starship Troopers 3 times tonight, maybe. Just put that bitch on repeat. But yeah, man, it's a good movie. You should give it a shot. If you like a little violence, if you like, that girl with the big lips, fuck's her name?
Carmen Electra.
No, that is not Carmen Electra.
Carmen.
No, her name's not Carmen. Well, Carmen from the movie. She got big. Denise Richards. If you like Denise Richards with the big lips, then you really like this movie. It'll like before Charlie Sheen ruined her life. You'll really like this movie.
Okay.
It's 2 hours long. It ain't bad.
Yeah. So my final thoughts would be, it's a good sit down, shut the fuck up. Here's some cheesiness, but we also got some drama for you. It's a solid movie. Yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. I'd watch again.
Oh yeah, a million times.
Anyway, we tried something different here today. We did a little movie review. Y'all let us know if y'all want to hear another movie review. This has been The Fighting Couch Potatoes. I was joined by Liquid Gold Steve and Kadawfi Crush. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Check us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at The Fighting Couch Potatoes. Thank you.
Because Liquid Gold said so.